Hello everyone, my name is Suman Devnath. I am a developer advocate with the Amazon EFS team, and we are coming to you live from San Francisco AWS Summit. And this is the last session for this year in San Francisco, and I'm joined by my co-host, AM.
I'm AM Grabelny. I've been AM Grabelny this whole time. I remain AM Grabelny, solution architect here at AWS. Sad to be at the end, but happy to be joined by our DeepRacer friends. You want to introduce yourselves?
Sure thing. I'm Ryan Marine. I've been working with the DeepRacer team as the MC for the last almost 5 years now.
Oh, nice.
And I'm Joe Fontaine. I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for AWS DeepRacer.
Excellent. So, welcome to the show. So, Joe, I remember that we talked about DeepRacer yesterday, right, at AWS on Air. But for our viewers who are new to DeepRacer, can you just brief about what DeepRacer is about, and what it is basically, and how one can get started with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So AWS DeepRacer is a suite of educational solutions for teaching the fundamentals of machine learning through the fun of autonomous racing with 1/18th scale RC cars. So here at the summits, we are hosting the first of many, or one of many summit races, part of our global DeepRacer League. So DeepRacer League is the world's first global autonomous racing league that's driven by reinforcement learning. So developers create models that can be deployed into the 1/18th scale RC cars and raced here on the track for a chance to win all sorts of prizes, DeepRacer devices, and even a shot at the Championship Cup at reInvent this year.
That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of this ride at a theme park called Carousel of Progress, and I feel like DeepRacer is one of those things that the guy would come in like, they're racing cars that drive themselves these days. It's pretty incredible when you think about it, right? Like you actually sit down and think. But like ultimately, it's about teaching people that ML is accessible, right? Like this is not a fringe thing that only data scientists can understand. It's actually for everyone.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. First-time developers, aspiring developers, anyone with the most basic concept of Python code can create a model in just a few minutes, train it inside the console, and be racing in under an hour. We actually had quite a few of the top-performing racers at the summit this week. Had trained a model in the workshop yesterday, raced on track today,
Really?
and now they could be heading to the big show. Yeah.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. Excellent. So I think one of the best part of DeepRacer is, it's opened up the door for developers who are new to machine learning, and they want to leverage this as a platform to get into the world of opportunities, especially in the field of reinforcement learning, right? So. Can you just talk about a little bit about the for the people who do not have the DeepRacer device or the car, but I'm sure that they can still join our virtual leagues. So would you like to share a bit about the virtual leagues that we have?
Yeah, absolutely. So for those who can't make it to an AWS Summit, you can participate monthly in the DeepRacer Virtual League. So from March to October, there are 8 races. You can start in the open division for a chance to land in the top 10%, win a pro welcome kit, and advance to the pros. The pros race each month on AWS Twitch, and the top 3 of them advance for that trip to reInvent to move on.
Wow.
And even if you don't own a device, you can still compete here at any of the summits just by bringing your own model. It's a stock car type race. No modified or custom performance devices allowed. So.
Oh, nice. So it's just pure model then.
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. So let's say I can come to one of the summits upcoming. Number one, can you share any DeepRacer leagues that will be at some summits so I can prioritize which ones to go to? And what should I expect when I get there?
Yep, great question. So almost every summit globally will have a
Nice.
DeepRacer Summit competition this year. You can check the summits page for more details on whether or not they'll have the DeepRacer. But when you arrive, you'll have the opportunity to attend one of multiple AWS DeepRacer workshops. And I'm so sorry.
No worries.
You can get on the track quickly with AWS DeepRacer Arcades, or head right to the track to compete for a chance to win.
And it's a really fun trackside experience, too. That's the thing I think we've missed the most since 2019. This is the first year we've had the in-person racing since 2019, at least in an official capacity. And what's really fun is you start to see some of the same characters. They'll show up. They'll be traveling sometimes just ridiculous distances to be there and compete. And then as you see the times start to go faster and faster and faster, the people will come, gather around the track, and there's just this great vibe trackside as you see the competition coming down to the wire.
Yeah, excellent. So I think this is a great community that we have built over the past, of 3-4 years, right? And would you like to talk a little bit about the DeepRacer community and the Slack channel that we have, where people can come in and learn from their peers and attend in their virtual races that we often see in our AWS console, where different people and even we from AWS launch a lot of virtual races, and if our participants win, they get a ticket to reInvent, as you rightly mentioned. So can you just talk about the community that we have across DeepRacer across the world?
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible and special community that's developed since DeepRacer launched at reInvent in 2018. There's now over 42,000 members on deepracing.io, which is a Slack community where they come together, sort of trade ideas, and really helpful in bringing new racers into the fold and teaching them. And many of the top racers and community members started out at a summit just like today. It was their first time and have built their way up. I think Ryan's come to know many of the personalities that now dominate the Slack community.
And what's really neat is our current world record holder, Debro. He set the record a couple of weeks ago at the summit in Brussels, and he is one of the most active members in the community. He's the fastest one so far this year, and he will share openly his secrets with those that are getting into this for the first time. They want to see this community grow. They want to continue to see the boundaries pushed forward, and that just, I think, exemplifies how welcoming people have been over the past several years.
Well, that's a good reason to tie in anyway, right? You get to be a part of this community, and it says to be like it's open learning too, right? No pun intended with the learning there, but open to helping each other get better and get deeper into machine learning and take your skill set to the next level too, right?
Sorry, go ahead.
It's not all about the races, I would assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it is really competitive. And those that are at the top, we're talking about sometimes thousandths of a second being the difference between getting an expenses paid trip to reInvent or sitting on the couch and watching from home. But still, there is that sense of camaraderie, even with the competition as stiff as it is.
Yeah. I think you mentioned a very important point, that at the end of the day, what you will learn and what you will get out of it, right? So your learning doesn't stop here, because this is just a gateway. So once you start to build models with DeepRacer and build a very good reward function, you actually get to know what reinforcement learning is about. And later on, you may work on real-world problems which are around reinforcement learning, and build your models, train your models on SageMaker, and deploy it and solve some real problems, in our real world. And one can even go further and write the certification for our machine learning specialty, which we have, right? So the opportunities are enormous, right? We just want our developers to come and get started with it. There should not be a foundation or hindrance that, hey, I'm not from the machine learning domain, this is not for me, right? So it's very simple. You don't have to know object-oriented programming and all of that. So you can just, if you know some, logical, functionalities, how a function works, how if-else statement works, you are good to go, right? So it's nothing much in that. So would you like to share a few of the tips before we wrap up? Your experience at the summit with the DeepRacer, challenges that you have seen here and the circuit. So would you like to share some thoughts around that?
Sure, it's been a great couple days of racing over at the Summit Speedway. As I mentioned before, some of our top competitors came into a workshop, trained their own model, and are now at the top of the leaderboard. I think we just wrapped racing a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it sounds that way. So I think Provectus ended up as the winner here at this summit with a 12-second lap. That's only a few seconds off of our world record time. And actually, we're going to be celebrating the podium here pretty soon, and our pit crew they have been trying to get you to come to one of our parties, our after
Seriously?
parties, yes, for a long time. So do you want to come join us over
Absolutely, yes.
right now?
Yeah.
All
yeah,
right,
yeah.
let's go.
All right.
Okay.
Simon's famous. It's been wonderful having you with
All
us.
right, lights out. Go ahead. All right. All right, good job. That's a wrap, everyone.